Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next?
What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
what's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
When I think of ICC, I think about home.
The moment I stepped on campus, I knew it was a perfect fit.
It helped me find my true self.
It has opened doors for me that I didn't even know existed.
Everyone here wants you to succeed.
I was able to get involved here and make a real difference.
I've met my closest friends here.
There's something for everyone to be involved with.
I've gained skills to succeed in the workforce.
It's been the best experience.
And welcome back to the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM. As always, the ICC Hour is being brought to you by our friends over at Renaissance Bank. They are the bank that understands you. You can find out why by visiting renaissancebank.com. Well, we just got done talking with Coach Robin Porter, the head coach of the Lady Indians. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit now and welcome to the broadcast Coach Grant Pate, the head coach of the ICC Indians. And Coach Pate, thanks for joining us.
Adam, it's always great to be with you. Always great to be with you and enjoy the conversations. And we're looking forward to 23-24 basketball season.
Well, you don't have to wait too much longer. It starts tomorrow night when you guys host Motlow State. Before we talk about that game, let's look back a little bit of the preseason. You played some games and been working out to get ready for the season. How's the preseason going?
It's been great. It's been great. Coach Wilson and Coach Hayslip have been outstanding staff members, and we've worked close together. They're hard workers. They're very relational. They're great teachers, and in saying that, our preseason has been really, really good because they've spent a lot of time in the gym with these guys. Coming off of last year's really successful season and winning 21 games, being one game out of the conference championship. We had to reload.
Yes.
We had to go out and find a whole new team. We just have 3 returners. Mm-hmm. And so out of those 14, obviously 11 of those guys are new guys. Mm-hmm. So we spent the summer in June just getting to know those guys, them getting to know us. A lot of that time is spent with Coach Wilson and Coach Hayslip. Yeah. 6 in the mornings till 11 at night, 12 at night. They're just, constantly working with these guys and helping these guys and just educating them on making the transition from high school to college.
It's a big transition.
It's a huge transition, and you just don't realize it. Right. You kind of take for granted that basketball is basketball, which it is, but when you step up a level, it changes.
Yes.
You're starting to play against some grown men.
Absolutely. Well, you talked about the success last year, 21 wins, one of the most successful seasons in program history. Well, the good thing is that's great. That means you got a lot of great talent. The bad thing is that means people on the other level want your talent, and it's really unique to see 12 players that are playing now on the next level from your program. There's not very many community colleges, not only in the state of Mississippi, but the entire country that can say that.
I've been thinking about it, and Coach, I'll talk about Coach Wilson and Coach Hayslip because we're always visiting and talking about other players, and they keep up with other players, being in the game. And I can't imagine another, 2-year school having 12 former players playing in the same year.
Right.
And it says a lot. It says a lot, not about just our basketball program, but Itawamba Community College, to be honest with you. I mean, we bring these guys in on visits, and they're with their parents and their families, and they're blown away. They are blown away by the campus, the beauty of the campus, the administrators, the faculty and the staff, the students, and it's just a pleasant place to be.
Yes.
And people feel that. And so, through Coach Wilson and Coach Hayslip, they have done an outstanding job recruiting some of the best players in the state and then some of the best players in the country, really.
Absolutely. And you know, we're talking about that, looking at the guys, and I'm just looking down where, you know, the opportunities they're getting that, you know, an 8th grader, 9th grader may have never dreamed of. I mean, you look at George Marshall and Jaden Webb. They're going to open the season at Alabama. You go down the list, you know, you've got Jamari, who's opening it up at Ole Miss. And then, of course, Walter, who's going to open his season at LSU. But the coolest one to me, and I'm kind of jealous of Fred Cleveland, he is going to get to not only open the season against the number 1 team in the country, but also play at one of the most historic arenas in the world. Whenever they go, well, of course, he's at, North Carolina Central, but they're going to take on Kansas, the Jayhawks. And that's a bucket list place for me, being a basketball guy, to go see, but to actually be on that floor and get a chance to play is amazing.
You can't get more historic than that than being in Springfield, Massachusetts, you know. But being in Fog Allen Fieldhouse and you know the crazies there and Rock Chalk Jayhawk, you know, he's got an opportunity, and all these guys, and when we're recruiting these guys, that's one of the recruiting, you know, spills is that, hey, you can come to Itawamba Community College. You get to play basketball here in a very competitive league in the MAC conference, you know. But you get an education here at Itawamba that is above and beyond anywhere, you know, we feel like, personally. And so, you know, 75% of our guys are signing at the 4-year level since I've been here. This is my 12th year. And 93% of those guys are graduating. And so, you know, we have some things here that are attractive. You know, it's attractive to be on this campus. It's attractive to be around the folks that are here. And it's attractive to play in the nicest facility, you know, in the country. So there's a lot of things going for us. And, you know, we have, you know, really outstanding young men that have come here, you know, and they've worked extremely hard. And that's the common denominator is work.
Absolutely.
And hard work. And, you know, we look forward to what these guys have done. We look forward to following them. And, you know, we get to visit with them, and they're talking about Kansas, and they're talking about Arkansas and Alabama. And like you said, who would have thought? You know, you play basketball all your life, and you dream about making shots in Bud Walton Arena, or you know, and here these guys, they're playing there. You know, it's awesome.
Awesome opportunity for those guys as well. So we're talking with Coach Grant Pate about the upcoming basketball season here at ICC. We do encourage you to visit letsgoicc.com or follow us on your favorite social media platform, Let's Go ICC there, to keep up with the schedules, when we're playing, what times we're playing, and one of those is tomorrow night. The season will open up against Montlow. Coaches, is it 7 o'clock tip or 7:30?
7:30.
So a 7:30 tip here in the Davis Event Center. Let's just look at the team for this season. We already said you're having to get a brand new looking team. You got 3 guys returning from last year, so that's a lot of new faces on the team. So let's just talk about those 3 returners to start with.
Yeah, the 3 returning guys are just they're program guys. They really are, and that's why they're here. And you know, we're thankful they're here, and they came back for their 2nd year. But Chris Minton out of Indianola Gentry High School is he's a solid guard. He comes to work every day, you know, bringing his hard hat, and he shoots the ball extremely well. Had a really good high school career, you know, but he was a guy that came in for us last year and would give us a spark off the bench, hit some big shots for us off the bench, a good defender, and a really good rebounder for a guy his size. John Terrius Chalmers, unfortunately, had a broken foot last year. So he ended up redshirting, so he'll be a redshirt freshman out of South Haven High School, and just another, you know, tough young man, plays hard. By the end of this semester, he's going to have enough hours to graduate. So just an outstanding student. He's one of those guys that can guard bigger players and he can guard smaller players. So he's got a real unique skill set there. And then Tyree Singleton, actually Tyree has got a knee brace on. So Tyree has had ACL surgery. He's going to be out. So 2 of those 3 guys will be available. Tyree will take a red shirt this year. And so coming off of last year, we lost 5 starters.
Yeah.
We're looking for 5 new starters.
Gotcha.
And that's what we use as motivation each day, is that we're evaluating, everything that we do each and every day. So you can't take a day off. You know, you gotta come ready to work so that we can make the best evaluation possible.
Yep.
And we're glad to have them.
Absolutely. And just real quick, or I say real quick, you can't real quick because you got a lot of them. Let's take a look at this freshman class you got coming in this season.
It's an outstanding freshman class, and we start locally. We start locally out of Tupelo High School, and Davion Anderson, who was a top recruit for us. We were excited to get Davion, and he's a point guard that's really explosive. And we got Demetrius Knox from Tupelo that came over. Nathan Timms is from Moorville. We're excited to have him here. And but those local guys are really big for us. But we branched out, and again, I can't say enough about Coach Wilson and Coach Hayslip. These guys stay on the road and they get after it. And they brought in a young man out of Biloxi, Mississippi, which that's rare for a northern community college in Mississippi to get one of the top players in the state. He was a dandy dozen and played in the Mississippi-Alabama game. And James is a really good point guard. And then we go to Brandon, and Brandon plays for the state championship last year. And Marcel Bridge is 6'6" player. He's a dandy dozen player out of Brandon, and just an outstanding inside-outside athlete. And then DeMondre Graham from Meridian, they played for the 3A state championship back-to-back years.
Wow.
He's Mr. Basketball in 3A in Mississippi and played in the Mississippi-Alabama game. So DeMondre is a 6'4" guard that got a lot of attention from Division I's early on because they were projecting him to be a tall wing.
Right.
And we're thankful he's here. MJ Smith right down the road, Chickasaw County product, which, he was there at Houston for a couple years and then finished up at West Point. But MJ is a big, strong, just forward that's going to help us on the boards. Incredible shot blocker, and he's developing a really good offensive game. And then we've got our out-of-state guys. We got 3 guys out of Georgia that have done an outstanding job for us. Jalen Sanford out of Macon is a guard, very explosive, very athletic. You saw him do the backwards flip and the windmill. And meet the tribe the other night, and he's just a super guy. Tyson McDaniels had a couple D1 looks coming out of high school. He's 6'7", and he's picked up a lot of attention like he did in high school so far. And AJ Dent, 6'6" forward out of Thomasville, Georgia. And those guys are really good in our league because the 6'5", 6'6", and 6'7" athletes they can get a lot done in this Mississippi League. And then our D1 transfer, Bryson Dawkins. Bryson is coming over from North Alabama. He's an Alabama product, and he's done an outstanding job and getting a lot of attention on the recruitment road, too.
Awesome. Well, Coach, we're going to take a real quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the schedule, or not really the in-depth of the schedule, but kind of talk about your anticipations for the season. Is that cool with you?
That's great.
All right.
Look forward to it.
We'll be back more of the ICC Hour right after this.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents, not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also a skilled swordsman, a master chef.
Needs more lavender.
A wonder at word games.
2 tries, every time.
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renaissance Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
When I think of ICC, I think about home.
The moment I stepped on campus, I knew it was a perfect fit.
It helped me find my true self.
It has opened doors for me that I didn't even know existed.
Everyone here wants you to succeed.
I was able to get involved here and make a real difference.
I've met my closest friends here.
There's something for everyone to be involved with.
I've gained skills to succeed in the workforce.
It's been the best experience.
And welcome back to the ICC Hour as we continue our look at ICC basketball on this week's show. Of course, the ICC Hour being brought to you by our friends over at Renaissance Bank. Now, I know football season's kind of winding up here, but if you like those SEC short videos, you can go check those out on RenaissanceNation.com. They had a really good one about Michigan not too long ago. Of course, me being a Notre Dame fan, anytime you can slight Michigan, I'm a fan of that. But we're talking with Coach Grant Pate. You've already heard about some of the players in his program, but now we're going to take a look at the season coming up, Coach. And I like to break it down in two parts because that's kind of the way it is. The first half of the season, before Christmas, non-division. Second half of the season is division play. So let's look at that first half of the season. Of course, opening with Motlow State tomorrow night at 7:30 at the DEC. What's your preseason goals? Or not preseason goals, but I should say first half of the season goals.
Yeah. Well, in the first half of the season, you know, we're being a new team, having 11 new guys, you know, being freshmen. A lot of it's going to come through experience and just, you know, making sure that we're all together on the same page. And game experience is different. You know, it's just different when you put three officials out there. You know, you have a lot of situations in the game. Late clock situations, shot clock situations, just before half, at the end of the game. So hopefully we'll be on the better side of the score clock near the end of the game and can work on some of finishing out games. So, you know, these guys are still developing identity for themselves, and that's what we'll pick up really in the first half of the season, you know, is developing that identity. You know, really seeing who we are. You know, we've seen it in practice, but it's different when you're playing different colored jerseys.
Correct.
You know,
yep.
And so we've got the MAC has voted on us playing 30 games with the national rules.
Yeah.
So instead of playing the old 23, you know, we're up to 29 games, and we'll play 15 non-conference games. We'll play 14 conference games. And like you said, tomorrow night, you know, we start out with Motlow at home. And Motlow has always been a really good Tennessee JUCO team. And we'll play a couple teams out of Alabama, Marion, Bevel State out of Alabama. And through the years, we've played Mid-South out of Arkansas. That's always a real competitive team there in Mid-South. Calhoun has picked up basketball again over in Decatur, Alabama. And so it'll be a really competitive first half, trying to prepare us for a league that is known to have 2 or 3 top 25 teams every year. And so we feel like we've met, you know, those expectations in the schedule. Now we've just got to prepare and be ready.
Yeah, and speaking of that, preparing, you know, tomorrow night, Motlow coming in, how do you get ready for a team that you don't have any film on?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, we're sitting around, you know, scratching our head, wondering, you know, what they're going to look like. But when we played in a jamboree over in Georgia, October the 1st, Motlow was there. So that's one of the nice things about playing in a jamboree. There's usually a lot of teams, and it's usually some teams you're going to be able to see on your schedule. And so we got to see them play in couple games early. And, you know, as far as video, there's just not a lot of video available on them. So we're just going to try and pick up the X's and O's we were able to jot down and do the best we can and make a lot of in-game adjustments as we go.
Well, you talked about it earlier. You know, the coaches have their coaches poll at the start of the season. You guys, number 2 on that, receiving some votes in the preseason national rankings as well. So let's look at the conference this year. Any sport in the MACCCC is tough, but you guys, another loaded deck. Now there's a full state regular season.
It is. I mean, you said it. It's a loaded deck. You know, Adam, I mean, they're from top to bottom. You know, you never know. And And with a 2-year, level, there's a lot of change from year to year. And so there might be somebody voted, we were voted, I think, maybe 9th or 10th last year and just had a great year. And Colin won it. And I think they may have been 12th last year, preseason. And so, it's really nice to have, that ranking and be able to see that. And the way we share it with our guys is that's really based on last year, what happened last year. So now you have to make a name for yourself, this year. And, but, Pearl River and, you've got your guys in the north that are all competitive. And I think Pearl River's, ranked first and Northeast was third. And so, there's going to be some really good teams out there, and it's going to be a really competitive, like Holmes and East, and all those guys, are bringing back some really talented guys, and then they've added, really talented guys, and in the blend, you really want to have about 5 sophomores coming back that have played a good bit, and then mix your freshmen in. But, hey, last year...
You didn't do that.
We had 12 new guys last year, and we had a great year. So I guess that was in the cards, like you said, and we got 11 new guys, so we'll see how we go.
Well, we're talking with Coach Grant Pate about the upcoming basketball season. Again, it starts tomorrow night right here in the Davis Event Center. We do encourage you to come out. The Lady Indians will tip off at 5:30. The Indians will follow at 7:30. If you can't make it to Fulton, the games will be available on letsgoicctv.com on the Red Channel. You can be sure to tune into there. We also want to encourage you to visit letsgoicc.com for the full schedule. And then we'll also have the links, so whenever we are streaming, we'll stream every home game, and we might try to get out some road games this year as well. Well, Grant, before I let you go, I want to let you address the fans. I kind of threw my pitch out there to come see them. Let everybody know why they should come watch the Indians this season.
Well, it's exciting. If you came to a game last year, I feel like you experienced a really exciting brand of basketball. And we've got guys that, they really care about each other, that play together. We got a couple enthusiastic, high-energy assistant coaches that do an outstanding job with our guys and coaching our guys. And, the Davis Event Center, we had some really good crowds last year, and we felt the spirit. We felt, the energy in the Davis Event Center, and we encourage everybody to come out. We look forward to another outstanding season.
And another good point on that is we're back to kind of normal than it was before COVID.
Yes.
Now the women and men playing on the same night majority of the nights. It's a great way to get the family, come out and enjoy an affordable way to enjoy some entertainment.
Yes, it's going to be awesome, to have Coach Porter and her team, play, and then we play, and, it's really a really good night out for the family. You've got really good basketball and entertainment.
Yes.
There's a lot of entertainment, and it's a joy to see those teams get up and down the floor, and just a lot of really good athletes. So come on out and catch the Lady Indians and the Indians, and make a big night of it.
Absolutely. Grant, I appreciate your time, and good luck this season.
Thank you a lot, Adam. God bless you.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
what's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
That's home. That's just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I can go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.